Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of the Orbital Defense Station Alpha, her reflection ghosting against the stars beyond. 20 years of military service hadn't prepared her for this moment. The alien ships had appeared without warning, 7 crystalline vessels that shimmered like cut diamonds against the black of space. "Status report," she commanded, turning to face the control room. The station's crew worked with practiced efficiency, but she could see the tension in their movements. Lieutenant Rodriguez spoke first, his fingers dancing across his holographic display. "The vessels maintain their position, Admiral. No weapons signatures detected, but their energy readings are unusual. They're broadcasting on all frequencies." "Let's hear it." The message filled the command center, translated in real time by their AI systems. "To the species designation, human, the Galactic Federation Council demands immediate compliance. Your military capabilities exceed acceptable parameters for pre-integration civilizations. You have 48 Earth hours to begin dismantling all offensive capabilities or face immediate sanctions." Sarah's jaw tightened. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but not like this. Not with an ultimatum. "Ma'am," Captain Wei called from her communication station. "The President is requesting an emergency conference." The holoscreen materialized in the center of the command center. President Harriet Okoye's avatar appeared, her expression grave. "Admiral Chen, I assume you've received the transmission." "Yes, Madam President. Initial analysis suggests their technology is significantly advanced, but—" Sarah hesitated, studying the sensor readings again. "Something doesn't add up. Their ships show no point defense systems, minimal armor. They're either incredibly advanced beyond our understanding, or they're bluffing." Okoye finished. "What's your assessment?" Sarah took a deep breath. "In my opinion, they're used to dealing with truly pre-spaceflight civilizations. They don't understand what they're dealing with. We may be behind in pure technology, but we've been preparing for this possibility for decades." The President nodded slowly. "The Security Council is split. Some want immediate compliance to avoid confrontation. Others," she smiled grimly, "others remember our history. How many times has surrender to a technologically superior force worked out well for the invaded?" "Never," Sarah stated flatly. "But we need to be smart about this. If we show our full capabilities too soon, we lose our advantage." A new alert flashed across the tactical display. Lieutenant Rodriguez straightened in his chair. "Admiral, we're detecting quantum fluctuations. They're attempting to scan through our defensive screens." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The aliens were about to get their first surprise. Earth's quantum interference fields, developed after decades of studying potential alien technologies, snapped into place. The crystalline ships scattered harmlessly against the invisible barrier. "Incoming transmission," Captain Wei announced. "They're requesting clarification about our defensive capabilities." "Patch it through to my private channel," Sarah ordered. The alien representative appeared on her neural link. A tall, ethereal being with iridescent skin and multiple eyes arranged in a circular pattern. "Human military leader," the alien began, its translator converting its musical language to English. "Our scans appear to be malfunctioning. Please deactivate your interference devices for proper assessment." Sarah kept her voice carefully neutral. "I apologize, but that would compromise our planetary security protocols. Perhaps we could discuss your concerns through diplomatic channels." The alien's eyes blinked in an unsettling pattern. "Unacceptable. Pre-integration species are not permitted to possess quantum interference technology. This further demonstrates the need for immediate disarmament." With respect, Sarah replied, "Earth's defensive capabilities are non-negotiable. We welcome peaceful dialogue, but we will not compromise our security." The alien's skin shifted colors rapidly. Surprise, Sarah guessed, or possibly anger. "You do not understand your position. The Federation maintains peace through strict control of military technology. Your species' demonstrated warfare capabilities combined with your rapid technological advancement make you a potential threat to galactic stability. Sarah leaned forward slightly. Perhaps you don't understand your position. Humanity has fought itself for millennia. We've learned the hard way that peace isn't maintained through disarmament, but through strength and wisdom. We're not interested in galactic conquest, but we won't surrender our right to self-defense. This is unprecedented, the alien declared. No pre-integration species has ever refused Federation demands. Then perhaps, Sarah suggested mildly, it's time for the Federation to evolve its thinking. Humanity is willing to join a peaceful galactic community, as equals, not subjects. The transmission cut off abruptly. Sarah turned to her crew. Battle stations. Quiet alert. I want our orbital defense grid fully powered but masked. And get me a direct link to Luna Base. If this goes sideways, I want our ace in the hole ready. As klaxons silently summoned crews to their posts throughout Earth's defense network, Sarah sent a private message to the president. They're scared. Not of our weapons, of our potential. They've never encountered a species that developed quantum technology independently. We need to show them that humanity can be both powerful and peaceful, but we can't do that from our knees. The response came quickly. Agreed. The Security Council has voted. Earth stands firm. Show them what humanity is really capable of, Admiral. Sarah watched as the crystalline ships shifted formation, probably preparing for what they thought would be a simple show of force. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its weapons or technology, but its ability to survive and adapt. And if the Federation couldn't accept that, they were about to learn another lesson. Never corner a species that had spent its entire history learning how to fight back. The next 48 hours would determine humanity's place in the galaxy. Sarah intended to ensure it was standing, not kneeling. All stations, she commanded, implement First Contact Protocol Omega. Let's show our visitors why humanity's history of warfare doesn't make us dangerous. It makes us prepared. The Federation's diplomatic vessel gleamed like polished mercury as it docked with Orbital Station Alpha. Admiral Chen watched the proceedings from the observation deck, noting how the alien ship's design prioritized aesthetics over functionality. Their entire civilization seemed to follow that pattern. Beautiful, advanced, but oddly impractical. Dr. Maya Patel, Earth's leading xenotechnologist, stood beside her. Their ship's beautiful, she commented, but did you notice the hull composition? It would shatter under sustained kinetic impact. They've forgotten the basics, Sarah replied. When you've had peace for too long, you forget its price. The Federation delegation emerged from their ship. 5 representatives, each from a different member species. Their leader, who had introduced himself as High Counselor Zixel, moved with fluid grace. His iridescent skin rippled with patterns that their xenobiologists suspected indicated emotional states. Sarah stepped forward to greet them, Dr. Patel at her side. Welcome to Earth's Orbital Defense Station. We appreciate your willingness to discuss matters in person. Zixel's skin flickered with what might have been disapproval. This facility's existence violates Federation guidelines. Its very presence demonstrates why we must insist on disarmament. Perhaps a tour would help explain our perspective, Sarah suggested. Dr. Patel will show you our research facilities first. The delegation followed Maya through the station's corridors. Sarah noticed how they reacted to the human crew, mixture of dismissal and unease. They saw humans as primitives playing with dangerous toys they didn't understand. The first stop was the quantum physics lab. Maya activated a holographic display showing Earth's defensive shield technology. We developed this independently, she explained. It's based on our understanding of quantum entanglement and wave function collapse. The Federation's science officer, a tall being with crystalline features, studied the display with growing agitation. Impossible. Pre-FTL civilizations cannot achieve quantum manipulation at this scale. Maya smiled. We had to. Our early warning systems detected your probe ships years ago. We knew we weren't alone, so we prepared. Humanity has a long history of technological advancement, driven by defensive needs. Precisely our concern, Zix-L interjected. Your species develops weapons too quickly, too efficiently. Not weapons, Sarah corrected. Defenses. There's a crucial difference. Let me show you something else. She led them to the medical bay, where human doctors worked alongside medical robots. This automated surgery system, developed from drone technology originally designed for reconnaissance, our best cancer treatments, derived from research into radiation protection for our space program. Humanity doesn't advance through warfare. We advance through challenges. The Federation's diplomatic officer, a being composed of shimmering gas contained within a force field, moved closer to examine the medical equipment. Your species repurposes military technology for peaceful applications. Always, Maya confirmed. It's what we do. We take the tools of survival and find new ways to help people thrive. The tour continued through the station's various sections. At each stop, Sarah and Maya demonstrated how human innovation had turned potential weapons into tools for progress. The Federation delegation's reactions slowly shifted from dismissal to reluctant interest. In the hydroponics section, Zix-L paused before a sprawling vertical farm. These agricultural techniques, they're remarkably efficient. Developed for long-term space missions, Sarah explained. Originally part of our planetary defense strategy, ensuring food security during potential conflicts. Now it helps feed millions in areas where traditional farming isn't viable. The delegation's security officer, a massive being with crystalline armor, had remained silent throughout the tour. Now it spoke, its voice resonating through their translators. You claim to seek peace, yet maintain military readiness. This contradicts Federation philosophy. Sarah faced the crystalline being directly. Peace through strength isn't a contradiction. It's a responsibility. Humanity learned this lesson through centuries of conflict. Real peace isn't the absence of violence. It's the presence of justice and the ability to defend it. An interesting philosophy, Zix-L admitted, his skin patterns shifting to new configurations. But it does not change the Federation's position. Your military capabilities. An alarm cut through the air. Captain Wei's voice came through the station's comm system. Admiral, we're detecting multiple unauthorized quantum signatures approaching Earth. Non-Federation signatures. Sarah was already moving toward the command center, the Federation delegation following in confusion. The tactical display showed 12 ships emerging from quantum space, sleek, predatory vessels bristling with weapon ports. Pirates, the crystalline security officer stated flatly. The Nexus Marauders. They must have detected our diplomatic mission. Zix-L's skin paled to an almost transparent state. This is unfortunate. Federation protocol requires withdrawal to avoid conflict. We will return when? Like hell, Sarah interrupted, taking command of the tactical station. This is Earth space. We don't abandon our responsibilities. She opened a channel to Luna Base. Initialize Protocol Omega. All defense stations, battle positions. The Federation delegation watched in stunned silence as Earth's orbital defense network revealed itself. Hidden satellites emerged from quantum camouflage. Defense platforms that had appeared to be simple communication relays transformed into weapon arrays, and from the dark side of the moon, humanity's greatest secret emerged. A fleet of warships that combined human combat experience with reverse-engineered alien technology. Impossible, Zix-L whispered. Your species shouldn't have this capability. Humanity doesn't wait for permission to defend itself, Sarah stated, watching as the pirate fleet approached. Now you can either withdraw per your protocols, or you can stay and learn why Earth's military history isn't a liability. It's our greatest asset. The pirates were about to learn that humanity's reputation for warfare wasn't just history. It was a promise. Attack Earth at your own risk. And the Federation was about to learn why peaceful species shouldn't fear those who understand war. They should fear those who don't understand its cost. The Nexus Marauders ships cut through space like obsidian arrows, their weapons already charging. On Orbital Station Alpha's command deck, Admiral Chen watched the tactical display with the cold focus that had defined her career. The Federation delegation huddled near the back, their expressions ranging from fear to fascination. They're broadcasting. Lieutenant Rodriguez announced. Audio only. A gravelly voice filled the command center. Federation vessels and primitive world, surrender your technologies and resources. Resist, and we will reduce this system to atoms. Sarah's lip curled slightly. Open a channel. She waited for Rodriguez's nod. Nexus Marauders, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of Earth Defense Command. You have entered protected space without authorization. Withdraw immediately. Laughter answered her. Primitives don't give orders to the Nexus fleet. We've studied your world. No FTL capability. Minimal space presence. You're defenseless. Last warning. Sarah replied calmly. Withdraw or learn why humanity's military history makes us dangerous. The pirate leader's response was to launch the first wave of missiles toward Earth's atmosphere. They never made it halfway. Earth's quantum defense grid activated, not just deflecting the attacks but redirecting their energy. Each missile's power was absorbed, channeled through the grid, and used to strengthen the planetary shields. The pirates' second wave met the same fate. Impressive defensive capabilities, the Federation's security officer admitted. But you cannot win through defense alone. Sarah's smile was razor-sharp. Who said anything about just defending? She opened a secure channel. Luna Base Actual, execute attack pattern Delta. From behind Earth's moon, humanity's hidden fleet emerged. Unlike the Federation's crystalline ships or the pirates' black wedges, Earth's vessels were studies in pragmatic engineering. Each design reflected centuries of military doctrine, refined through countless conflicts. The pirate leader's voice crackled through again, showing the first signs of uncertainty. What trickery is this? Primitives cannot have such vessels. You made 3 mistakes, Sarah responded, watching as Earth's ships moved into attack formation. First, you assumed lacking FTL meant lacking advanced technology. Second, you thought a history of warfare made us primitive. But your biggest mistake. She nodded to Captain Wei. You gave us time to prepare. Earth's fleet struck with precision that left the Federation delegate speechless. Instead of relying on energy weapons like most galactic civilizations, humanity had developed hybrid systems. Kinetic accelerators bypassed standard shields. Quantum disruptors turned the pirates' own power systems against them. And most surprisingly, old-fashioned ballistic weapons proved devastatingly effective against ships designed to counter energy-based attacks. Impossible, Zix-L whispered, watching as the first pirate vessels were disabled with surgical precision. Your tactics, they're unlike anything in Federation records. Because we think differently, Maya explained, never taking her eyes off the battle. We don't just advance technology. We combine it with historical military doctrine. Every war humanity fought taught us lessons we never forgot. The pirates attempted to regroup, to form a defensive line, but Earth's fleet was already inside their formation. Sarah's voice carried the weight of centuries of human military experience. All vessels, execute containment protocol. Disable their engines and weapons. Let's show our guests the difference between violence and controlled force. What followed wasn't just a battle. It was a demonstration. Earth's ships moved with coordinated precision, targeting critical systems while minimizing casualties. Within minutes, half the pirate fleet was dead in space. The rest were trying desperately to retreat. Their quantum drives are spooling up, Rodriguez reported. They're attempting emergency jumps. Deploy quantum anchors, Sarah ordered. The pirates' escape attempts flickered and died as Earth's technology locked them in normal space. All vessels, final warning. Power down and prepare for boarding, or face complete disable. The pirate leader's next transmission was markedly different. Wait. We surrender. How did primitives defeat us so easily? We're not primitives, Sarah corrected. We're humans. We understand war better than anyone because we've learned from every conflict in our history. That's why we don't seek it, and why we're so good at ending it. She turned to the Federation delegation. This is why we maintain our military. Not because we want war, but because we understand peace requires strength and wisdom. Every weapon we possess, every tactic we've mastered, serves one purpose: protecting life. Zixel's skin patterns had shifted to entirely new configurations. The Federation. We may have misunderstood your species. Perhaps there is wisdom and strength, properly applied. That's just the beginning of what you've misunderstood about humanity, Sarah replied, watching as Earth's ships began securing the disabled pirate vessels. The question is, are you ready to learn? The battle was over, but its implications were just beginning to ripple through the galaxy. Humanity had proved it wasn't just another primitive species to be guided or controlled. They were something the Federation had never encountered before, a civilization that had turned its understanding of war into tools for peace. And they were about to change the galaxy's definition of civilization itself. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth's orbital station became an unlikely diplomatic hub. The captured pirate ships hung in space like dark monuments, while Federation and human crews worked together to process prisoners. But in the station's secure conference room, an even more significant exchange was taking place. High Counselor Zixel's skin rippled with complex patterns as he placed a crystalline data core on the table. Admiral Chen, Dr. Patel, and President Okoy's hologram waited expectantly. What you're about to learn, Zixel began, has been sealed in Federation archives for 10,000 years. After witnessing your response to the Nexus Marauders, I believe you deserve the truth. The data core projected a holographic star map of the galaxy. Ancient text scrolled alongside it, automatically translated by their systems. Long before the Federation, Zixel explained, our galaxy was torn apart by wars that made your world wars seem tiny in comparison. Entire civilizations were erased. Solar systems were turned to ash. The few survivors formed the Federation with one goal: preventing such destruction from ever happening again. Maya studied the ancient text. This mentioned something called the divergence. What is that? Our scientists discovered a pattern, Zixel continued. Spacefaring civilizations typically follow one of two paths. Most, like the Federation members, develop technology through peaceful cooperation. They reach the stars through curiosity and unity. And the second path? Sarah asked, though she already suspected the answer. Species that forge themselves in conflict, those who reach the stars carrying the weight of their military history. Zixel's skin darkened. Your path. According to our records, such civilizations either destroy themselves or become conquerors. President Okoy's hologram leaned forward. Yet here we are, neither destroyed nor conquering. Exactly. Zixel activated another section of the data core. There was a prophecy made by the Federation's founders. They spoke of a species that would emerge, one that had mastered war without being mastered by it. A civilization that could bridge the gap between peace and strength. The holographic display showed a series of mathematical predictions, evolutionary models, and statistical analyses. Sarah recognized the pattern immediately. You've been looking for us. For millennia, Zixel confirmed. When we first detected your world, the signs were there. Your rapid technological advancement, your complex military history, your ability to maintain peace despite possessing weapons of mass destruction. But we had to be sure. So the disarmament demand was a test. Maya realized. You wanted to see how we respond. Yes, a truly warlike species would have attacked immediately. A purely peaceful one would have submitted. You showed us a third path. Sarah stood, walking to the window overlooking Earth. We don't maintain our military because we love war. We maintain it because we understand war's cost better than anyone. Every weapon we develop, every defense we create, serves one purpose: protecting life. That's what the prophecy spoke of, Zix-El said softly. A species that could teach the galaxy true peace, not through passive acceptance, but through strength tempered by wisdom. The data core displayed more historical records. Federation worlds that had fallen to pirates or hostile species because they'd forgotten how to defend themselves. Civilizations that had collapsed because they couldn't adapt to new threats. The Federation's philosophy of total pacifism, Sarah observed, has left you vulnerable. You've traded wisdom for comfort. Yes, Zix-El admitted. We thought removing military capability would prevent war. Instead, we've created power vacuums that pirates and outlaws exploit. We've forgotten that peace isn't just the absence of conflict. It's the presence of justice and the strength to maintain it. President Okoit's hologram smiled. So where does this leave us? Still demanding our disarmament? No. Zix-El's skin patterns shifted to entirely new configurations. We're asking for your help. The Federation needs to learn what humanity already knows: how to be strong without being cruel, how to maintain peace without becoming vulnerable. And in return, Sarah asked, full Federation membership with a special status. Humanity would help reform our defense protocols, train our peacekeeping forces, and teach us what we've forgotten about protecting civilization. Maya looked thoughtful. You're not just offering us membership, you're offering us a chance to reshape galactic society. Because that's what the prophecy truly predicted, Zix-El explained. Not just a species that understood war and peace, but one that could teach others the balance between them. Sarah turned back from the window. Beyond it, Earth's ships and the Federation vessels now floated side by side, a visual representation of what could be. Well, she said, I suppose humanity has always been good at teaching survival lessons. The truth had emerged, but it wasn't just about ancient prophecies or hidden fears. It was about the fundamental nature of peace itself, not a fragile thing to be protected through avoidance of conflict, but a strong foundation built on the wisdom to know when to fight and when to extend a hand in friendship. Humanity was about to take its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors or subjects, but as teachers. The real question was the galaxy ready to learn? 1 year after the Nexus Marauder incident, Admiral Sarah Chen stood in the Grand Chamber of the Federation Council. The crystalline dome above showed not just stars now, but Earth's new defense satellites, sleek combinations of human and Federation technology that protected shipping lanes across 3 sectors. Below, representatives from 200 worlds watched as human instructors trained the first joint Federation Earth Defense Force. The trainees moved through combat simulations with growing confidence, their movements reflecting humanity's hard-won military wisdom. Remarkable progress, High Counselor Zix-El observed, his skin shimmering with approval patterns. In just 1 year, piracy in Federation space has decreased by 70%. Because we taught your people more than just tactics, Sarah replied, watching a human surgeon to demonstrate close-quarters combat techniques. We taught them responsibility. Power without wisdom is dangerous, but wisdom without power is vulnerable. Dr. Maya Patil approached, carrying her latest research results. The integration of human military doctrine with Federation technology has exceeded all expectations. Their quantum drives combined with our tactical systems, we're creating something entirely new. The evidence was visible throughout Federation space. Earth's military experience had revolutionized galactic defense. Former pirate bases now hosted joint training facilities. Federation ships carried modified versions of human weapon systems, not for conquest, but for protection. The prophecy of divergence, Zix-El mused, spoke of transformation. We thought it meant humanity would change to match Federation ideals. Instead, we're all changing, Maya finished, finding a better way together. A commotion at the chamber's entrance drew their attention. A delegation of Nexus Marauders, former pirates who had witnessed humanity's capabilities firsthand, approached the council podium. Their leader, once an enemy, now stood as a potential ally. "We request formal recognition," the pirate chief announced. "As the first members of the Reformed Marauder Coalition, we wish to serve as auxiliary peacekeepers under Joint Human Federation Command." Sarah smiled slightly. This was perhaps humanity's greatest victory, not defeating enemies, but transforming them. The former pirates had discovered something more valuable than plunder: purpose. "The galaxy is changing," Sarah addressed the assembly, "not through conquest or submission, but through understanding. Humanity didn't reach the stars to rule them. We came to share what we learned through centuries of struggle, that true peace comes from strength, wisdom, and the courage to use both justly." The chamber erupted in discussion as representatives debated the implications. Some still feared change, but most had seen the results. Federation worlds were safer, trade routes were secure, and most importantly, civilization was learning to defend itself without losing its soul. President Okoye's hologram appeared at the podium. "1 year ago, the Federation demanded we disarm. Today, we stand as partners in a new kind of peace. Not the peace of the defenseless, but the peace of the prepared. Not the silence of submission, but the harmony of strength and wisdom in balance." Across the galaxy, the changes were undeniable. Federation ships now carried human commanders, learning the art of controlled force. Earth's universities hosted alien students studying the history of conflict resolution. And in space, joint patrol fleets demonstrated a new paradigm: power tempered by restraint, strength guided by wisdom. The prophecy was right, Zix-El concluded, watching the former pirates integrate into the defense force. Humanity was the key, not because you were peaceful or warlike, but because you understood both. "You showed us that peace isn't the absence of strength, it's the wisdom to know how to use it." Sarah touched the Admiral's insignia on her uniform, now modified with Federation symbols. "We're not just teaching combat tactics, we're teaching balance. The balance between power and restraint, between defense and diplomacy, between the strength to fight and the wisdom to avoid fighting." As the chamber session concluded, Sarah looked out at the assembled representatives of galactic civilization. Former enemies sat together, learning from each other. Peace was no longer maintained through passive acceptance, but through active understanding. The galaxy needed humanity, Maya observed, not to lead it or submit to it, but to remind it of a truth it had forgotten: that lasting peace comes from strength of character as much as strength of arms. The stars above seemed brighter somehow, as if reflecting the dawn of a new era. Humanity had found its place in the cosmos, not as conquerors or subjects, but as teachers of a forgotten wisdom. That true civilization rests not on the absence of conflict, but on the presence of justice and the strength to maintain it. The balance of power had shifted, not toward dominance or submission, but toward understanding. And in that understanding, both humanity and the Federation had found something greater than either could have achieved alone: a peace strong enough to endure.